My hands, I was tuned in every day. I was still praying for a distinct prophecy, a distinct mention about brain aneurysm. And then came September 5, and there was a testimony of a Ronke in the UK who testified that the brain aneurysm was reversed. That testimony and the associated debrief.
I hear the Lord reversing every brain aneurysm, brain aneurysm, brain aneurysm. If you're the one, put it on the live stream. About the power that raises from the dead, I command, let every reverse right now.
That came with it was it for me. It was the evidence that I needed. I tapped into her testimony and ran with it. The following day, which was September 6th, the prophecy was, you will not die. It is settled. What you were afraid of will not happen.
You will not die, you will not die. You will not die. It is settled. What you are afraid of will not happen.
A few days later, on September 9, and as guided by the man of God, Pastor Jerry, I wrote my testimony, at least up until September 9. I wrote the testimony for what happened from June 22nd, but I also wrote the ending of the testimony. And that was that when I go back in 6 months to do the scan, that my brain will be normal with no trace of aneurysm, and that the feelings that it has seen earlier will have closed, and there'll be no more feeling. That's how I closed that testimony. On October 10th, I was to have an interim IBDSA, but here in Cairo, the only reason I wanted to have an interim IBDSA was in a sense to accelerate the evidence because I was a whole lot more confident. So the scheduled 6-month checkup would have been on January, but I decided to bring it forward. So I wrote the doctor, the urologist, and said to him, since the interim IBDSA assessment couldn't hold, can we do the 6 months earlier than 6 months? He jumped on it. As soon as I sent the email, he came back in and said, why not? What dates are you looking at? I quickly switched my prayer points on the platform as I prayed for a report on December 20th that showed the reversal of what they initially saw. On that fateful day on December 20th, my evidence was delivered. I underwent several rounds of scans at the hospital in London. I had gone into the procedure at 11 a.m. on the 20th of December, and by 2 p.m., I met with the doctor to review the scans. The doctor said to me, Sawani, I have good news for you. All aneurysms occluded. I sat back and I said, what does that mean? In layman's terms, he said, it is all closed. All aneurysms closed. He then went on to say that I can now go and sleep peacefully. You too, Mrs. Sawani. And so you can imagine what would have kept even a doctor awake for 6 months, carrying a burden for somebody else. And the pastor would ask, how would you celebrate? I was numb. Numbness in awe of God. I still am numb by this God, why he elected to have mercy upon me. My sister and I ran into the car, went to the hotel where my kids were, and all we could do was burst into songs. This is an acknowledgement of how this platform helped me on this faith journey. I needed to overcome fear. I needed the encouragement of the word. I needed faith. This testimony is coming very late, actually. It's almost a year. The one thing I knew was that I needed this platform to fulfill my promise and my vow to God, and that was to share it to the ends of the earth. And I do so today with an immense heart of gratitude and thanksgiving. Thank you, Pastor Jerry. I cannot thank you enough for this commission. The oil on your head will only continue to increase, and may our good Lord bless you beyond measure. What God cannot do does not exist.